When Dani Reiss took the reins as CEO of Canada Goose, he was a 27-year-old running a company that brought in a couple $1 million per year in revenue. Today, the 50-year-old presides over a global brand worth $1.13 billion in US dollars, something his maternal grandfather likely could have never imagined upon launching the company with 5 sewing machines in a small Canadian factory in 1957. Canada Goose parkas, which can cost upwards of $1,900, are sported by Oscar winners, Olympians and Arctic explorers. In its most recent fiscal year, the company brought in $878.47 million in revenue, and by Reiss's estimation, sold well over 1 million jackets. That includes a rough 6-month stretch for the luxury sportswear company, which saw its stock price hit an all-time low of $9.80 per share during the day on November 1. Uncertain economic conditions, tighter consumer spending and unusually high temperatures have contributed to the drop, according to a Wells Fargo research note published last month. Yet Reiss, perhaps predictably, remains publicly confident, because wearing Canada Goose carries cultural value. He tells CNBC Make It, "You look at luxury brands in the world, and they make things at home," he says. "When you buy a Canada Goose jacket, you're buying a piece of Canada. That's important. You can't replace that." Here's how Canada Goose began, grew to billion-dollar status and plans to survive consumer uncertainty. When Reiss's grandfather Sam Tick started the company, it was called Metro Sportswear Ltd. Tick, an immigrant from Poland, sold wool vests, raincoats and snowmobile suits. His store only had a handful of sewers on staff, Reiss estimates. The company mostly functioned as a private label, designing coats for businesses that would become its competitors, like LL Bean and Eddie Bauer, says a Canada Goose spokesperson. Reiss's father, David Reiss, took over in the 1970s. He invented a down-filling machine, which dramatically cut down on production time, and rebranded the business to Snow Goose. He also created the company's iconic red Expedition Parka, initially meant for scientists at Antarctica's McMurdo station. Growing up, Reiss had no interest in joining the family business, he says. He hated clothing brands that advertised themselves on clothing, cutting alligator logos off Lacoste polo shirts. He did work odd jobs at his dad's office to earn pocket cash, filling jackets, shipping coats and working as a janitor and receptionist. After graduating from the University of Toronto with an English literature degree in 1997, Reiss wanted to travel around Europe and Asia, but didn't have any money. He returned to Snow Goose, planning to collect 3 months of paychecks before jetting off. This time, he worked in sales, and speaking with customers made him finally realize that luxury coats weren't just pretentious status symbols, he says.